the attractor, liquidity, and time in the chaotic system of price movement. 1. Introduction: chaos governed by inner order. At first glance, price movement in the market seems completely random: jumps, breakouts, corrections, sharp reversals. But beneath the surface operates a dynamic chaotic system governed by an attractor. A hidden field of pull toward which the system tends to stabilize, even when it appears out of control. The attractor is not an external law, but an inner pattern of pull and balance, manifesting as price movement oscillating around a central point, the center of balance. 2. What is the attractor? The attractor is a region within the system's dynamic space toward which all oscillations tend to converge. Not necessarily as a single point, but as a recurring pattern that balances the acting forces. In a chaotic system, such as the financial market, it represents a dynamic equilibrium. Not stillness, but a continuous flow that brings the system back to its energy center. Just as in weather systems or fluid dynamics, price also has an internal attractor, to which the system returns again and again after unpredictable fluctuations. 3. The attractor in price action, the center of balance. On a price chart, the center of balance is the zone where the market reaches temporary equilibrium between buyers and sellers. There, an energetic balance between opposing forces is formed. When price approaches this center, it loses energy: consolidation, ranging, and calm appear. When it moves away from it, it accumulates potential energy: trends, accelerations, and sharp moves occur. It is, therefore, the gravitational center of the market, the point or zone to which price seeks to return after every harmonic move, breakout, or correction. 4. The relationship between the attractor and liquidity. Liquidity, the energy of the system. Liquidity is not merely the ease of buying and selling, it is the expression of energy flow in the market. It represents the system's ability to absorb energy, orders, information, trades, without losing its stability. High liquidity equals the system absorbs energy smoothly, movement is soft and harmonic. Low liquidity equals the system is sensitive, each action creates sharp jumps, breakouts, or spikes. Hence, the attractor is the center of liquidity equilibrium. Liquidity equilibrium. The attractor represents the zone where the market reaches liquidity saturation, a point where buyers and sellers are in similar quantity. Here, quiet emerges, every action is absorbed, and price calms down. Once this balance is disturbed, a liquidity imbalance occurs. Then, a new move begins, a process in which the market searches for a new liquidity center. Thus, price constantly oscillates between liquidity attractors. Each time a buying or selling excess forms, a new current is created, until the market finds a new center where energy is reabsorbed into balance. Liquidity as energy flow. Liquidity is the blood of the market. Like a stream of water, it flows from areas of surplus to areas of scarcity, defining the market's structure, rhythm, and direction. Consolidation zones equals liquidity clusters, the market's attractors. False breakouts equals tests of nearby liquidity zones. Pullbacks equals returns to the previous center of gravity after energy discharge. Price behaves much like a fluid. It flows toward the paths of least resistance and moves away from dry zones, those lacking liquidity. 5. The attractor, equilibrium, and Fibonacci ratios. In the system of price and time, the attractor's center almost always aligns around the 0.5 ratio, the equilibrium point. This is the mathematical center of balance, the midpoint of every movement range, where positive and negative forces, buyers and sellers, are in full equilibrium. However, true balance is not static, it breathes. Thus, the attractor also has boundaries, the range within which most of the natural price movement occurs. These boundaries are expressed through Fibonacci ratios. 0.382 lower boundary of balance, where downward stretch begins. 0.618 upper boundary of balance, where upward stretch begins. Together, the three ratios 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 outline the breathing space of the market. This is the attractor's range, the zone where price naturally oscillates around liquidity balance, and beyond which energy discharge or trend reversal begins. when these Fibonacci ratios are also applied to the time axis. A cosmic mapping of energy flow emerges, revealing moments of redirection in the price-time stream. Points where not only price changes, but the very direction of time-price flow shifts. In this sense, Fibonacci ratios are not merely geometric proportions. They express cosmic flow relations between energy, liquidity, and time. When price approaches 0.382 or 0.618, the system charges or discharges energy, redirecting itself like a river splitting into new streams. 6. The attractor in time. Time in a chaotic system. Time in a chaotic system is not constant. It expands and contracts depending on the distance from the attractor. When price moves away from the attractor, the system is in high tension. Energy flows faster, time accelerates. When price is near the attractor, the system rests. Energy accumulates, time slows down. In other words, the attractor bends time around itself. Just as mass curves spacetime in physics. The attractor as the gravity of time. The attractor can be seen as a gravitational center in price-time space. The closer the system is to the center of balance, the more time stretches and relaxes. The farther it moves, the more time contracts, pulled inward toward equilibrium. Thus, market cycles, short and long, change according to price's distance from the attractor. Fast, sharp moves contracted time. Long consolidations expanded time. 7. Structural description of price movement around the attractor. The process can be described as follows. 1. Liquidity accumulation, price converges around an equilibrium zone, the attractor. 2. Energy release, excess buyers or sellers cause tension to discharge. 3. Harmonic movement, price accelerates, time contracts, temporary chaos arises. 4. Search for a new center, the market seeks its next equilibrium. 5. New consolidation, liquidity clusters again, forming a new attractor. This cycle repeats endlessly, on multiple scales. Just like a fractal structure, where the pattern recurs across different timeframes. 8. The inner understanding. Price, liquidity, and time together form one harmonic system. The attractor is the energetic center that balances them. As long as the system remains open, the market active, it oscillates between imbalance and balance, creating cyclical patterns of breakout, return, and stabilization. On a deeper level, the attractor is the heart of the market. Liquidity is its blood, and time is its breath. 9. Summary. Every price chart is a chaotic system governed by liquidity attractors. Price moves in fractal patterns around centers of pull where energy converges. When the market loses balance, tension builds, energy releases, time contracts, and price is flung outward. When balance returns, time expands, liquidity absorbs, and the system breathes again. The attractor is not merely a mathematical law. It is the inner expression of the market's living dynamics, where chaos and order coexist, like the heartbeat of a single, breathing, self-regulating organism.